pick, but there are also some interesting mids.
Almost a recreation of the Walking Zed's composition yesterday with the Katarina mid, the Wukong jungle. I think Dominate definitely learning from his coach, St. Vicious, channeling his inner Monkey King. It worked out a lot better. The first few ganks were a little weak, they didn't work out, but as the game progressed, you felt that Curse found ways to actually get in there and pick some fights, and it didn't take them 450 hours this time as well.
That's a pretty good point. Now, I have a question specifically for Benny about that top lane. We did have Quas rushing Hydra several times, actually. What's your input on that?
Like, if it's just a 1v1 matchup, it's not bad at all. But as you can see, in that game, they focused on shutting Quas down a little more, where it was Vi and Olaf constantly diving him because he's so squishy. But if they only did that earlier in the series when the games weren't as like eventful and they could have just got free kills over and over again and possibly snowballed the game. But in this game in particular, while they were focusing more on top, they were just snowballing mid and like Dominate was getting ganks off elsewhere.
Yeah, I feel like in this particular series, Cognitive didn't make any decisive calls or decisions at all. I felt like as the series progressed and went on, they sat back, they were happy to play the farm game, they waited, and it frustrated me because they had champions that could go in, that could make plays happen. And for games 1, 2, and 3 at least, there was very little of that happening at all.
Okay. So after watching the whole series, though, I want to get your guys' input on this Curse team and what you think they're going to be able to accomplish in the 2014 season, because it's definitely a completely different Curse lineup.
Okay, well, in the words of COG, they certainly have potential. Like, with all like a fresh roster, like, we have yet to see what they can really do. But, like, to be honest, this wasn't the strongest showing that I would have expected from them, even though they did play solidly in a long stretch game, and they did outplay Cognitive, despite, like, some random picks here and there. They outplayed them. They are the better team, and they deserve to be here.
My concern for this, from this showing, is that Cognitive never put pressure on them. And I don't think many of the other teams we've seen that are going to be taking part in the LCS will give them that 30 minutes of breathing room to make plays. And I think they need to work on their plays early game. Otherwise, from the teams you've seen this weekend, I think Evil Geniuses is the most threatening. Coast played well, but had similar indecisiveness problems. And I feel Curse are definitely going to have to get that resolved by the time we kick off the next season.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you because, well, didn't they like sweep their opponents?
Yep,
It was like a 3-0. It was really convincing too. It
Yeah.
wasn't like the 5-game or 4 games that we just experienced right now. And a lot of that also has to do with like they have veteran players, and of course they have like the 3 members from like the EU's EG. They bring a lot of experience, and then Pobelter's always been a solid mid, and Inox has been in the scene forever too, like in the challenger scene. But he's overlooked. Like their roster's really solid.
All right. Well, before we wrap up our day, I would first like to thank Benny for coming, hanging out with us, and sharing his league knowledge.
It was a pleasure. Although there were parts of the games that did frustrate me as well. Just how so paced it was, but it's over. And congratulations, Curse. I love everyone on Curse. Like, they are a really nice group of people, and I'm happy to see them back in the LCS. And yeah, thank you guys for being such good hosts. Whoa, Shox was here too, but your place there.
All right. Well, thank you once again, Benny. And now we're going to send it back over to Rib.